Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And I just want to dive in and start off with this article going all the way back to October of 2020. This is literally 2 months before Ripple does get that SEC lawsuit. And as we do look at this, right? We've seen Ripple eyeing move to London over XRP friendly stance. And they have been planning this for so long, in my opinion. I mean, even before this, they were expanding in the UK for a while. But we do see, talking to CNBC Friday, Garlinghouse said his blockchain payments infrastructure company could potentially move to London, where XRP is not considered a security by the Regulating Financial Conduct Authority. The firm may also consider other nations that take a similar stance. Ripple is closely tied to XRP, using the token to move value within some of its institutional focused payments products, as well as helping its development. In the US, though, Ripple is fighting a legal battle with investors who claim XRP is an illegally issued security, while the SEC Commission has not been clear on the issue and has been taking actions against some token-based projects. What you see in the UK is clear taxonomy, and the UK's FCA took a leadership role in characterizing how we should think about these different assets and their use cases. This is what Garlinghouse told them. With the FCA clarifying that XRP is not a security and that it is used like a currency, it would be advantageous for Ripple to operate in the UK. Ripple is also considering Switzerland, Singapore, Japan, and the UAE as potential bases, he added. And we already know that they recently just announced a headquarter in the UAE. I know that they are also expanding rapidly within Singapore. Not too sure about Japan and Switzerland, but I do know Switzerland has become a major key player around crypto innovation. So I would not be surprised by that. But why am I bringing this up? Why am I talking about it? Well, we already know that Ripple is a part of the Digital Pound Foundation, which is a think tank company looking for CBDC discussions, planning, and ultimately solutions. And as we do look at this, right, it leads me to my next topic, which is this post here from 801_XRP. And when you see the BIS and the Bank of England is looking at how technology can improve transactions for a wide variety of assets. This is with Project Meridian, Meridian, sorry. Listen closely to this.
Payments are essential to the global economy, and innovation is making it faster and easier to pay for things in our everyday lives. Project Meridian from the BIS Innovation Hub London Centre and the Bank of England is looking at how financial technology can improve transactions for a wide range of assets. The project experiments using the complex process of buying a house. It builds a prototype new entity, a synchronization operator, at the centre of the transaction. They electronically coordinate the simultaneous transfer of money and house ownership. The synchronization operator asks for funds to be reserved in the buyer's bank account, so they can only be used to purchase the property. At an agreed time, the operator starts the payment process. It asks the central bank to move funds from the buyer's bank to the seller's bank. Simultaneously, documents are electronically signed, passing ownership of the house to the buyer. The documents, completed in advance by legal representatives, would contain the information needed to update ownership details on the land registry. The operator automates this whole process and provides complete transparency. Everybody in the transaction is kept updated. Slow and frustrating paper trails would be replaced with fast digital procedures. And the buyer no longer wonders, "Have I bought that house yet?" The prototype is scalable and flexible. It could synchronize the purchase of multiple houses simultaneously, and it could be applied to other types of transaction, such as banks exchanging currencies with each other. The automated processes could also lead to further innovation, for example by linking to other digital records to help protect against financial crime. Project Meridian, simplifying transactions through innovation.
And almost all of these videos, almost every single one of these projects, they are always focused on the same exact thing, which is simplifying transactions. And it could be around anything. This one was really kind of centered out on real estate. But as we do look at the Bank of England, I go all the way back to 2017, and I know that this is a proof of concept. Like, listen, this is not, 100% proof that Ripple will be utilized, but we do see Ripple proof of concept. We carried out a proof of concept with Ripple to explore the synchronized movement of two different currencies across two different real-time gross settlement systems or linked using Ripple Connect and the Interledger protocol. We wanted to demonstrate how this kind of synchronization might lower settlement risk and improve the speed and efficiencies of cross-border payments. Check this out. So within this, they gave you a little bit of a background, and then they broke down the full-on proof of concept. So we do see this POC focused on a high-value cross-border payment scenario in which transactions in two different currencies are executed simultaneously in two different simulated RTGS systems that could represent two different countries. Our key objectives were determining whether the Interledger protocol could provide a suitable technical solution to the scenario, as well as down here exploring situations in which the synchronized settlement process should not complete. For example, where there's a lack of available liquidity to make a payment, and to understand potential ways of responding, and building understanding of the technical challenges associated with both synchronization and the Interledger protocol. The Ripple solution utilized by the bank was built around the open source Interledger protocol that enables payments to be made across different ledgers and networks across the world. A ledger is essentially a file used to record transactions measured in terms of a monetary unit of account. The solution used Ripple Connect, which acted as the interface that enables an institution's internal systems to integrate with the Ripple network. This means that payment instructions can be sent and received, and the state of payments can be queried. The solution also utilized the IOP validator network, which coordinates the settlement of payments between the transacting ledgers and is the source of truth regarding the success or failure of such payments. Now, with this, we do see reflections and next steps. This POC was a useful exercise to develop the bank's understanding of synchronization and possible technical solutions. Our key learning points were that the Interledger protocol was able to support synchronization of payments between two simulated RTGS ledgers, that the IOP validator created a single source of truth between the two ledgers, eliminating the need for separate processes such as mutual reconciliation between separate ledgers. Cross-border payments, when applied to wholesale markets, represent different challenges than when compared with retail and corporate transactions, which the Ripple product is designed to handle. The availability of liquidity is one such challenge, but guess what? When you incorporate XRP into the system, all of that changes. And the POC allowed the bank and Ripple to begin exploring these questions. So what do you think is going to happen from here on out? I mean, although, yes, as we do look at this being just a proof of concept, it was a pretty successful one in my opinion. Now, what came from this, in my opinion, is some very large things. One, we look at the Bank of London. Now, this is one of the most interesting logos that I've ever seen around a bank. I wish I could open this up in a new tab. But this is, I mean, if you look at it, practically an X logo. I'm not going to say here, hey, it's an X logo, must be XRP. No. I don't believe that that is the case, but I do think that this is a very interesting bank to watch because this was just recently founded. We will talk about that. But do you see how we're disrupting the fundamentals of banking? I think everyone needs to go watch this video. I would play it, but it's pretty long. Go to the bankoflondon.com/r-story, and all of you could go and actually watch this video. It is very interesting. But down here, we do see the Bank of London is a leading-edge technology company and the world's first purpose-built global clearing agency and transaction bank. We leverage our patent technology, innovations, and differentiated bank capabilities to lift economies and communities by powering the borderless economic infrastructure of the future. Our clients are banks, clearinghouses, digital and traditional asset firms, governments, financial services companies, from local fintechs to global institutions, payment networks, and non-financial brands seeking to launch fully compliant financial products and services in country and cross-border. This is one of the most interesting companies out there, and when we look at the connections to Ripple and XRP, it's actually very interesting. So let's go back over here to the original announcement. So This is from Bank XRP. This is December 9th, 2021. This was about roughly almost a month after it fully launched, because it launched on November 30th of 2021. ODC, the Bank of London, faster, better, stronger, cheaper. The Bank of London is not just another bank. We're the world's first purpose-built they're basically the first purpose-built global clearing agency and transaction by the likes of which the world has never seen before. Time for change. And listen closely to this video real quick.
I first met Anthony through a friend, and the minute he walked through the door, he made the problem very specific to me. He says, Mark, every time you transfer money, that's a frustrating process and a costly process, right? I said, yep. Or we're going to build at the Bank of London a product that is going to take that problem away. And we're going to be able to instantaneously transfer money and revolutionize a significant component of the financial services industry. And I said, man, if we can change that, we have a winner on our hands.
The Bank of London is not just another new bank. We're the world's first purpose-built global clearing, agency and transaction bank, the likes of which the world has never seen before. From next-generation treasury, payment versus payment versus delivery, right through to atomic settlement. And that's just a fraction of what we bring to market.
In essence, we've built a platform that allows us to leverage the existing networks, yet provide a tremendous amount of additional capabilities.
Our unique patented innovations cover the principal risk factors across payments, clearing, settlement, compliance, and disbursement.
One of the first things that got us excited is the ability to take costs and reduce it by 80, 90%. And in general, people at the beginning tell you, we're kind of happy with what we have, until you show them what you could have, right? And when you show them what you could have, which is faster, better, stronger, cheaper, then fundamentally people go, hang on, yeah, the door's wide open. Come and help us change.
And of course, as we do look at what's happening from the Bank of London, it is very interesting to watch, because there's a few things that I want to dive into here in a second. But there's one last thing that I do want to mention over here. And when you see all the hallmarks of XRP, simplicity, frictionless, risk reduction, unlocking liquidity, instant settlement, led by Barclays ex-European CIO, history Barclays Ripple MC partner on investments in Send Friend, who uses Ripple's on-demand liquidity, smells like Bank of London is Ripple Tech. And when you look down here, the Bank of London launched on November 30th as the UK's sixth principal clearing bank, becoming only the second new clearing bank in more than 250 years. This is significant. When we do see down here, former Uphold Inc. CEO Anthony Watson, now Anthony Watson founder and group chief executive, the Bank of London. Remember, Uphold was the only exchange to actually support XRP fully in the fight. But then down here as well, the Bank of London, one of the many failures of the global banking industry is they only really ask themselves one question. And that question was, where will the future of banking take us? When they really ought to have asked themselves, where will we take the future of banking? And down here, we do see another post from Matthew Lin Y. And here he continued, we leverage our leading edge proprietary technology innovations and differentiated bank capabilities to remove unnecessary risk, unlock liquidity, and deliver revolutionary products and services at significantly lower cost to enable near instant settlement without a financial intermediary in the flow of funds. I'm telling you, when you look at this type of technology, you need to read between the lines. But also, if you didn't want to read between the lines and see the actual story here, because to me personally, this is Ripple technology utilizing XRP. Here you have a post from Tool Bedik XRP over on Twitter. Bank of London says banks need to be ready for clearing 2.0, embracing global networks such as Ripple and XRP. Swift TCH EBA pilot is a further accelerant to what we can call clearing 2.0 and shows what banks can do to be more effective, but it's not the end game. Look at this. So let me open this real quick up in a new tab. And then I also want to open these too, because I see people thinking this is the Bank of England. It's not. It's the Bank of London. Look into it. I'm just as excited by it. And yeah, although it's not, the Bank of London or the Bank of England, sorry, it's still the Bank of London. This is still a very large innovation and something that has not happened in well over 250 years. This is the second clearing bank. But over here we do see The Group Chief Markets Officer at the Bank of London told Karen Webster that the recently announced RGP initiative being piloted by the Clearinghouse, the EBA Clearing, and SWIFT would help further shape how clearing banks operate as real-time payment systems and also change money movement itself. The pilot, he said, with the in-place support of 25 banks, is a further accelerant to what we can call Clearing 2.0 and shows what banks can do to be more effective. But then also over here, we do see the Clearing 2.0 bank also must be flexible enough to embrace the emergence of new point-to-point global networks such as Ripple and XRP and to settle in whatever currencies stakeholders demand. As a clearing bank, you'll need the ability to work with whatever rails come in and as fast as they can move money. And remember that video over here from this individual, like, because we look at what's happening, yeah, they are changing the way money moves. They're changing the way things work around banks. And, you know, you really do need to ask yourself, like, you know, what can we do better? What is going to be better? And even he said, like, at first they're going to say, I think I'm going to stick with what I have until they show them what can be accomplished. And what can be accomplished by sourcing digital assets like XRP through RippleNet is extremely revolutionary. And what do you see over here? Bank of London is ready. Uphold Inc. founder talks disrupting the dinosaurs with faster payments in real time, eliminating Nostro Vostro accounts and no capital risk. Smells like XRP. Listen closely to this.
Businesses complaining about how slow it is to do that via sort of the normal banks. But as you say, these are really large entities. They potentially have the money to put into investment here. So what's stopping them from doing that, especially if they face an upcoming competitor like Bank of London?
That's a great question. So the primary issue for what I would call the heritage institutions is their cost of capital, but also their balance sheet costs. So, for example, if you look at an institution like a Barclays, I think it's just under 2 trillion balance sheet. They have the liabilities that the follow-on liabilities of a chain of issues that encumbers them. And so, with an institution like the Bank of London that has currently over 100% tier 1 capital and 100% non-leveraged balance sheet, our model takes risk out of the system. Now, that doesn't mean we don't carry any risk. Like any company, we carry operational risk, but capital and balance sheet risk is not one of the challenges we have to deal with. So we can move money truly in real time without having trapped capital like Nostro, Vostro accounts around the world. The last estimate I read from McKinsey, and then again, this is quite a dark, opaque world. People don't talk about the real issues here. But if you look at the trapped capital that's just sat, like non-performing capital in Nostro, Vostro accounts around the world, it's about $20 trillion just sat there not performing. We don't carry those legacy issues. So we believe when you're a major corporation or a major institution that needs to move liquidity, access to liquidity and move it in real time, will be one of the only players that you can do that with truly. Because today, if you look at the way the system works, for example, let's say I was to send you £100 from my account in London to your account in New York, as an example. Barclays would send a SWIFT message to its correspondent bank or JP Morgan, let's say. It would take money from its Nostro account and they'd give it to you. So you'd probably get it in 24 hours. The banks themselves don't settle with each other up to 40 days in some instances. And that's because of the legacy balance sheet and capital risks we just talked about, where we remediate that problem directly because we don't carry those liabilities.
And this is exactly why I'm so focused on this, because, you know, I do think that this is very large. And I think everything that's happening in the UK should 100% be watched for, because, like, we see the Bank of London expanding rapidly with even We Are Pay UK. This is faster payments as a DCSP, directly connected settlement participant, a milestone that will power the vision of embedding open access, removing inefficiencies and driving choices in the UK. Like, this is big. And the reason why I think that this is so important is because there's a few things. One, we know Ripple is big in the UK. We know that for sure. Right? And they have been focused on the UK for so long. And also, April 19th of this year, Stuart Alderati missed all the excitement yesterday on the Gensler hearing. I am in London spending time with our team focused on growing our business. Can't tell you how inept the SEC looks from this side of the pond. And then also, last but not least, Breaking. Economic Secretary to the UK Treasury Andrew Griffith said Monday the UK has a great digital asset, adding that regulations related to settlement will occur before broader crypto regulations. Remember what is happening here. Like, this is why I focus on the big movements happening around these areas like the UK. And I do believe that regulations related to cross-border settlement or just settlement in general, like, this is going to happen before we do see broader regulations within crypto as well. Because you're already seeing things move on that. Listen closely.
To the financial sector.
And is this likely to result in new specific crypto regulation, or will it work within existing
A bit of both.
regime?
A bit of both. I mean, wherever possible, we want to see the same asset, the same transaction regulated in the same way. But there are some additional opportunities in the crypto asset or distributed ledger space, and we want to make advantage of that. So to give you an example, settlement using fiat-backed cryptocurrencies for settlement, for payment mechanisms, that's already in the financial services bill, so that's coming even sooner than the broader regulatory framework.
Do you have any idea when we may start to see specific crypto regulation in the UK?
Well, I think, look, over the next 12 or so months is the window. We've got this great asset in the UK. We've got control back of our rule book, not something the UK's had for decades. So we've got the ability to move in an agile and proportionate way. And I'm definitely keen we make the most of that opportunity.
And there's a lot of study going on about a so-called digital pound, a central bank digital currency as well. The latest is that it's likely that one will be needed. What's the sort of roadmap for this going forward? Can you give us any indication when we may have a digital pound in the UK?
Yeah, look, it's got a long lead time. I mean, there's both policy issues around things like privacy and how you get that right, and there's technology issues. If you're going to have a sovereign digital currency, you've got to have the highest level of resilience and infrastructure. So that's not going to happen overnight. I'd like to see the policy debate and some of the major debates, issues thrashed out over the next 12 months. That's what the purpose of the consultation is. And in parallel, the Bank of England are looking at what it will take to operationalise that. As you say, it does feel like that's a coming opportunity, and again, somewhere where the UK can be one of the leaders.
Just want to get your take.
And we know that the UK wants to become a crypto hub. So to me personally, the UK is ready. They've been ready for a while. And I think that this Bank of London is 100% something that everyone should be focused on, because they are utilizing XRP, in my opinion. I mean, everything that we've seen around their discussions, everything that we've seen through these videos, I mean, sourcing liquidity on demand and being able to, completely eliminate Nostro Vostro accounts, that is 100% exactly what we have seen from Ripple with XRP. That's their argument point around it. And again, we've seen this well in the past. I mean, going all the way back to 2020, 2019, 2018, even previously, the UK has always been in the scope of Ripple. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.